Good morning. Welcome to this week's Prepp Talk. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, December 5th, 2023. How are we doing today? There's so much in the news, but this week we're going to talk about the buzz around the sun and what it's been doing the last few weeks. It's been just really freaking people out. Let's see what we have on the desktop. So this is what we woke up to a few days ago. This is a picture taken on December 2nd, 2023. Giant black hole in the sun. Just ready to spew. Just ready to spew stuff. Everybody panicked. And you know what? It's not like there was no reason to not panic, okay? But listen, don't panic. It's okay. It's okay. This is what she looks like today. Still there. Moved on by. Decreased a little bit. Closing up a little bit. Not without shooting. Look at that right there. Right there. Not without shooting a little bit of junk our way. But even so, that's not even anything to be worried about. We're talking at the most a G2, which is a moderate geomagnetic storm. And G2 storms are high latitude, or they will affect high latitude power systems. Long duration storms may cause transformer damage. Spacecraft operations are affected. Corrective actions to orientation may be required by ground control. Other systems that are affected by G2 storms are high frequency radio propagation, which can fade at higher altitudes. And the cool part is the aurora can be seen as low as New York and Idaho. So that's pretty cool. But remember, whenever you see something like this come across TikTok or come across YouTube, you can go right over to spaceweather.com and get the latest in the news and what's going on. And you'll have access to all the data. Here's an example. So up in, is it the North Pole? 1,300 kilometers south of the North Pole. During the day, they were able to see the aurora. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of different. You can go down December 4th, 2023. The network reported 8 fireballs yesterday that are orbiting our planet. So that's always interesting. And you can get the latest on any of the near-Earth asteroids that might be coming by. The date, let's see, we are in December 5th. So we are due for 2023 WW, which is, it's going to miss us by 7.8 lunar distance. It has a velocity of 8.5 kilometers per second, and it has a diameter of 41 meters. And you can go down here if you're wanting to know what a lunar distance is. A lunar distance is 384,000 kilometers between the Earth and the Moon. So a lunar distance equals 0.00256 AU. So that's a lunar distance. The distance between the Earth and the Moon is a lunar distance. And that was 7.8 lunar distances away from us. So see, No reason to worry. No reason to panic. All kinds of and here's other links to NOAA and NASA and all the other places that you can go to get your information on what the sun is doing in our atmosphere. You know, and this does bring to mind prepping for natural disaster. And natural disaster can mean a giant solar storm from the sun. It could mean a hurricane. It could mean tornado season. It could mean wildfires. Okay? Hurricanes, typhoons, whatever, earthquake. Okay? Sometimes those are the hardest things to prep for. Okay? So what you've really got to do is become familiar with your geographic location. What is the most likely natural disaster that you might have to worry about? For instance, I'm here in Northwest Missouri. I really don't need to worry about hurricanes, okay, or typhoons. Now, earthquakes, we do have a major fault line down in the New Madrid that's overdue to go off. But even if it went off at its highest point, say an 8, that would be enough to affect me where I am at. And even though that may not be disastrous, the effects for me may not be disastrous, it's definitely going to affect my supply chain, the way I get my food, the way I get my groceries, because it will affect my state. So see, you need to be thinking about that. You need to be thinking about, you know, what is your area susceptible to tornadoes? Okay, tornadoes can wipe out supply chains, like flatten them. Again, the Joplin tornado, it took them 3 weeks to get anything open as far as people being able to get supplies. It took them 3 weeks. So that's the kind of thing you need to be thinking about and planning for. Now, FEMA, our Federal Emergency Management Agency, has a great list as far as an emergency supply list. I do believe this is roughly they tell you 72 hours. But this is a great little checklist because it's not just food you need to worry about, okay? You need to worry about your medications, okay? You need to worry about, you know, do you have a baby? Diapers, formula. We saw formula being a big issue during the pandemic. What about your pets? Do you have a cat? Do you have a bird? You know, are you stocking up on their food as well? Important family documents. I have a giant Ziploc. It looks like a money bag, but it's big, okay? And even though my kids are all grown, I still am the holder of the documents. So everybody's birth certificates are in there. All the titles to the vehicles are in there. All the important things, college manuscripts, diplomas, everything. Everything is in this Ziploc bag. I literally have to grab it. I know right where it's at. I grab it and go. Do you have cash stored? I know we are so turning in to a cashless society as it's devised. They are devising it that way. Have some cash, because if something happens, you know, bank failure is a real concern, okay? Banks can be taken out by natural disasters. The internet can be taken out by natural disasters, okay? It may be the cash you have in your pocket's all the money you're going to have for a minute. So, you know what? Get you a safe. Whatever you feel comfortable. A coffee can buried in the backyard, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Stash some cash. Emergency reference material. Do you have a first aid book? Not digitally on your Kindle. A book, okay? A book that is going to maybe give you natural remedies in case something happens, in case you lose access to your medication or your medication runs out or whatever. And in a book that's going to show you some basic first aid instructions. You're going to want that. And you know what? Buy a small little book. You can get them in small little books. They won't take up very much room at all. Sleeping bags, blankets. Make sure you've got things like that. Fire extinguishers. Okay? Matches. Keeping those matches in a waterproof container, or buy one of those eternal match gizmos. You can get them on Amazon and they're like less than $10. Don't forget your feminine hygiene supplies. Okay? Very important things that can be easily overlooked. Hand sanitizers. Hand sanitizers, we dealt with that with the pandemic. Those are a great thing to have on hand. There's a lot of different uses for hand sanitizers. You know what? Mess kits. Maybe it's paper plates and cups and disposable things, paper towels. And preferably paper and not foam, because it can be burned and gotten rid of. But water might end up being a premium. You may not want to be giving up your precious water to wash the dishes, okay? So there's something to be said about having those disposable things, and preferably burnable. That way we're not building up a bunch of trash. We can burn it and get rid of it. Do you have kids? Board games. Everything's digital. They've all got their Game Boys and their Xboxes and their computer games on the phones. Make sure they've got something. You may not have that for a minute, okay? Give them something to do. Those puzzle books, the old-fashioned board games. Put some of those into your preps, okay? Water goes without saying. Water and non-perishable foods go without saying. Here's another thing to think of. Do you have a way to charge your phone? Do you have a way to charge your phone? And if that way is your car, do you have a way to not run out of gas? Okay, it was weeks before anybody could get gas down in Joplin. Okay? So maybe if you have a way of storing some gas cans, get some gas cans and start putting them back. Don't forget a flashlight with extra batteries, or the kind that you can wind that don't even require batteries. And I would like to add those solar lights that are $1 at Walmart or the Dollar Tree. Okay? I have those in my cellar. If we have a major outage, okay, I can bring those up here, put them in the window during the day, and they will last quite a while come night, okay? And they're solar, so they don't require any batteries. Another suggestion FEMA has for you is moist towelettes, baby wipes, or the bathroom wipes work just as well. Again, water may be a premium, okay? Cleaning yourself may become hard to do. And if you let your hygiene go too long, it's going to start affecting your health. It's not healthy. Besides, you're all going to be sitting together in the dark, and by damned if I want to smell your stinky ass. Okay? So be using the baby wipes. Got it? What about some tools? Do you have a basic toolkit? Wrench, pliers, a hammer, you know, some heavy-duty scissors or a small saw. Okay? Think about that. Can openers. Don't forget the can opener. Don't forget the can opener. Okay? And you know what else it might be a good idea to get? Do you have a map? A paper map? If shit really does go down, you may have to bug out. Are you going to know where you're going without your GPS on your phone? Exactly. Exactly. Speaking of bugging out, here is the ultimate list of bug out bag essentials. Bug out bags are the hardest thing because you got to carry this sucker. So it can't weigh 500 pounds. Great article. Of course, all the articles that I will be talking about today will be linked in the description on this video. Food and water. 3-day supply of non-perishable food, healthy canned goods in non-BPA lined cans. High nutrition energy bars, even MREs, which are the ready-to-eat meals that soldiers carry. 3 days per family member. Okay? A way to filter your water. They have these straws. Okay? That's the simplest, the easy, the cheapest solution are those straws. You can get those on Amazon. Chemical water purification tablets. Collapsible water bag or bladder. Okay? Maybe you're going to be able to camp out overnight somewhere safe, close to some water. You can take your collapsible water bag, go fill it up, bring it back to camp. You've got some water. Stainless steel water bottles, not plastic water bottles. Stainless steel water bottles, one for each family member. A stainless steel bowl and a pot, something that's going to be able to go over the fire. A spork multi-utensil, one for everybody. A field knife. I say one for everybody, but your better judgment, at least one person needs one. A collapsible fishing kit. You know, fishing and hunting may become a way for you to supplement what you've got on your backpack. You know, the longer you can make that last, the better you are. So if you can fish, or you can kill a rabbit, or whatever, the better off you are. Fuel for a stove or a fire. How are you going to light that fire? What if it's raining? Okay. Can you put a little piece of fire starter in your backpack? Can you make some fire starters? Everybody burns those wax melts. I do. I've got several places in my house that I have wax warmers, and when I go to dump those out, I put cotton balls, okay? Cotton balls in them, and they soak up the wax. Take them out, throw them in a Ziploc bag. I've got instant fire starters. You see what I'm saying? The lint out of your dryer. If you don't want to do cotton balls, if you don't want to buy cotton balls or use them, use the lint out of your dryer, okay? Put them in the wax. You've got a fire starter. Waterproof Ziploc bags. Ziploc bags. Definitely put some Ziploc bags in there. There's your little spork. So this will have links to all the things that we're talking about. Okay, there's your little water bags. Lightweight tents, if you can. And you can get pretty small one-person tents. Sleeping bags, ground pads, if possible. Emergency waterproof blankets or one of those space blankets. A tarp, hand warmers, gloves, 50 feet of parachute cord, hatchets or machetes, knife sharpening stones. What about clothes? Socks in particular. Socks and underwear in particular. Okay, what if you get wet? Okay, that's a big deal. Even an extra pair of shoes if you can manage it. A rain poncho, warm or lightweight winter jackets. What time of year are you going to be prepping for? And this brings up another thing. You know how they say when the time changes to check your fire alarm batteries. When your time changes, switch your preps out for the season. So if I've got a bug out bag and I've got things for winter bugging out and the time changes come, I'm going to take those things out and put in the things for summer bugging out. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to want to bug out in August with a winter coat in my backpack. Okay, think about that. Now, they are telling you to have 2 sets of underwear and 2 pairs of hiking socks and a sturdy pair of hiking boots and a hat for winter, sun protection in the summer. So here is some other links. Sleeping bag, there's a tent, there's a hatchet. First aid. Simple, comprehensive first aid kit with a book or instructions. N95 face masks. That's up to you. It could help you as far as smoke. I mean, you got to think outside. It's not necessarily for virus. They could also help you regarding smoke or any other airborne contaminants that you might come across if bugging out. Again, don't forget your prescriptions. Do you have a spare set of glasses? I know I don't wear them, but I wear glasses. I never wear them when I'm filming. How many sets of glasses do you have? Don't forget about it. They could get broke. Okay? Antibacterial wipes with the ointments. That should kind of go into your first aid kit. And with your splint. Sunscreen. A folding shovel. Soap of some kind. Toothbrush. Hand sanitizer. We mentioned that earlier. Your feminine hygiene products. What about toilet paper or wet wipes? Yeah, we don't want to forget that. And again, here's some links of some different things. This is a emergency solar hand crank radio that will also charge your phone. Now that would be something worth spending your money on. Because if the networks do stay up for whatever, maybe the networks are going to be able to stay up. If you can keep that phone charged, that is going to be invaluable, okay, to you. So again, that would be something I would suggest spending your money on, would be that Foss Power Emergency Solar Hand Crank. Let's just check that out. We'll open that up in a new tab. And look, it's only $30, y'all. What the heck? It is only $30, but I'm adding that to my cart. I'm adding to cart. $30 for that. You can hand crank it. Solar. It will charge your phone. has a light on the end of it. It'll run by batteries. It will hang crank. Water resistant. $30. If you're going to do anything, if you're going to buy anything to prep with, it needs to be that. It needs to be that. Here's a foldable solar phone charger and a solar inflatable waterproof light. Here's some things that kind of are even further outside of the box that maybe you need to think about. A whistle. It's kind of a, it'll help draw attention. If we have to be out in the streets, you got to know that there's going to be some civil unrest. There are many, many people who are mentally unstable. Okay? Especially if we're getting into a time where people aren't going to have access to their meds. There's going to be some issues, so you're going to want to have some way to bring attention. Walkie-talkies. These are inexpensive. Walkie-talkies are inexpensive. I'm sure we're going to look at those here in a second. Each family member needs to have one so you can communicate, and they can go up to 2 miles, okay? Another thing that's you need to be spending your money on. A compass, okay? A compass or a watch. And again, how about a watch? A watch you have to wind, because you don't want, the battery is going to run out, okay? And it's not going to do you any good. Pepper spray. Again, with the hand cranked radio and flashlight. Headlamps, glow sticks. Some of the documents you need to think about: your passport, your deeds, your titles, your bank info, insurance policies, health records. Okay, road maps. A printed list of friends and family and their addresses and their phone numbers, just in case we do have phone access. Okay? You may not be able to charge your cell phone. Do you know grandma's phone number? Do you know your kids' phone number? Or are they just a contact in your phone? Okay? And again, links to all of these things. A bushcraft guidebook. That's a great thing to spend. Here's a small sewing kit. Zip ties. Great. Other wonderful, useful items. So anyway, this link will be available at the bottom in the description. So, one of the complaints that I always get with people in prepping is, but I only live in an apartment. I only live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Well, am I supposed to prep? No excuses. You can prep. You can prep. And I'm going to give you some ways to do that. Again, identify the type of situations that you need to worry about. Chances are you do need to worry about a power grid failure. That's pretty much everybody. So you need to worry about not having electricity, which, don't forget, means probably not having water either. Okay? People don't remember that our water takes electricity to be pumped into our homes. Okay? So some practical ways in small spaces. Shelves, okay, those are obvious. Those are obvious solutions. But any wall that you don't have furniture against, or there's a window, shelving can be placed. Even if you have a couch against the wall or radiator or whatever, consider adding shelving behind it so you can pull your couch out a little bit. You've seen those magazine photos of those couches, and they have the little shelf behind them, and you can put your little decorative lights and things. Okay, but imagine that with shelves down to the floor full of canned goods that no one's going to see because it's behind your couch. You hear what I'm saying? So you've got this decorative thing, and literally, this is what? 6 inches. 6 inches is all you need to store canned goods. So you could go buy yourself some 1x6s, build yourself a shelving unit that'll go behind your couch. You can put decorative lamps and plants behind the couch, and onto the floor you're storing canned goods or water or whatever. Consider raising your bed. You could go purchase 4 cinder blocks, okay, and raise your bed by as much as 10 inches or more. That would then allow you all of that real estate for storage of food, paper goods, toilet paper, okay, all of those things. Stackable containers for emergency food. I've mentioned many times you can take these stackable containers and stack them up, lay a decorative, tapestry over it, put a lamp on it. You've now got a decorative corner table. Okay, you can stack them up in the corner of the closet. You can stack them along the floor of the closet and put your shoes on top of them. Okay. Stackable emergency water storage. There are a ton of options. The most common is the Aquatainer, which is also the one I use, they say. It's affordable. Let's just open that up and look at the Aquatainer. It's a 7-gallon rigid water container. Okay? And again, this would be something you could put under that raised bed. Okay? Something you can put under that raised bed. Oh, I've lost my... Yeah, here we go. Don't forget about the water filters. Berkey. And listen, they're expensive. And let me also tell you that there are ways to make these. You can use 5-gallon buckets and make yourself a Berkey using the Berkey filters. Just get on YouTube and search it out. And you know what? This is something you can use all the time. So this is something that you can have in your kitchen and be using it even now, okay? Make furniture multifunction. When it really comes down to it, furniture is a waste of space. In an ideal world, all furniture would double as storage. Build a window seat that has storage underneath of it. Make a coffee table with space inside of it. If you live in a yurt, the couch also doubles as a storage bench. So, multi-use things. But you know what? This will be linked in the description. No excuses. No excuses. There's many, many ways to be prepared. Now, one thing that we also need to be prepared for, and I think I mentioned it at the beginning, is bank failures. Banking Survival Guide, A Hitchhiker's Guide to Thriving Despite Bank Failures. These are happening more and more. Okay? And I know that I have loved ones who have done well for themselves, have done really well for themselves. However, it's all fake money. And I say it's fake money because it's not real. It's not tangible. It's digital. And people people severely appreciate how fragile digital money is. Okay? Horribly, horribly fragile. So, different ways, and this is Forbes.com, gives you a list of different ways, like diversifying your bank accounts, mitigating the risk, and maximizing the return. In other words, have various accounts, checking, savings, multiple different accounts. However, have them in multiple different banks, different places as well. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Even if the basket is divided into sections, banking, checking, savings, it's still the same basket. That bank fails and your shit's gone. Okay? So various places. Another thing I want to mention is investing in metal, investing in gold, investing in silver, making that money. Because even our paper money, I mean, is there really anything backing it? I'm not sure. Buying gold, buying silver is a great way to diversify your money, your stash. Some you might want to consider putting it in a safety deposit box at a bank. I personally would not do that. I would invest in a safe, or bury it, out in the backyard or somewhere. That way you haven't lost everything. But you do need to think about that. If your bank fails, or if the power grid fails, here's the thing. And I did a video about this a couple of years ago. The United States is ran off of 3 major power generators, for lack of a better word. Now, one of them is Texas, and that's kind of on its own. However, the system is devised to support one another. So if one of the 2 main ones in the United States goes down, Texas will jump in and help. Okay. If it is very possible that we could get a CME that throws an X-class flare at us. It would generalize in a specific geographic region. Let's say that that's the United States. Okay? So it is absolutely possible. It is not out of the realm of it's never going to happen. Okay? Do you understand? The sun could blurt an X-class flare right at the United States, and it could fry all 3 power stations, putting us and parts of Canada, because we are connected into theirs as well, putting us in the dark. Okay, understand that to get parts, nowhere in the United States makes the parts for these transformers. If I remember correctly from my video, they come from Russia or Germany. Okay? It is estimated that it would take 18 months just to get the parts to fix the generators to get us back on grid. 18 months. People, that's almost 2 years. It's a year and a half. It's a year and a half being in the dark. No power grid. Do you understand? Okay. Now, you have to think about, people will say, my money's protected. They keep it in the cloud. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The cloud is digital too. The cloud is just as susceptible as your computer sitting right here on your desk. It's all contingent. It's all contingent on power. Now, hopefully things are backed up on something physical, like hard drives, or I have my my little hard drive. Hopefully things are backed up. But do you know that? Do you know that? No, you don't. You don't know that. You don't know. You don't know if you're going to have access to that information ever again. Okay? So you've got to prepare for it. Anyway, that's all we've got for today. Again, don't be scared. Be prepared. Know what's going on. Check in and see, what the sun is doing today. Check out your earthquake maps as well. You always watch the news for the weather. Why wouldn't you watch the news for those things as well? All we can do is the best we can do. But that's the least you can do as well to protect you and your family. Anyway, don't be scared. Be prepared. I love you as always. And Nana Prepp out.